Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good night to you all. Hopefully, you are all having a lovely day. My day has been a day. Oh shit, well, I don't even know what character was on the screen. Damn it! I actually don't know. I've had that, like, screen showing all my art for so long, and it's got, like, 6 years of art in it. Or, well, like, 4 years, actually. So I genuinely don't know what character you just saw on the screen. If it was art. I don't know. There's too many people. I need to fix up my art showcase to be less full of duplicates, for one, and then just to fix it in general. There's so much art in there. Oh my god. But anyway, it's a world building day because it's Tuesday, and Tuesday's world building day. And the reason Tuesday's world building day. Oh, me. That's very sweet of you. That is very, very sweet of you. Hey, Bob! Thank you for the resubscribe! God, 9 months. I have been streaming for almost a year now. Oh my god. Far out. Actually, now I suddenly really need to check a date real quick. Hold on. I don't have the date written down when I started streaming. I'm sure I could figure it out. What I want to check is... Come on, phone. You have the ability to scroll. Here it is. Yes. There very well may be a stream on my birthday. That's gonna be fun. That's basically gonna be like the year anniversary. Will be my birthday stream. That'll be fun. I have no idea what's happening on that stream. We'll figure it out. But anyway, it is a world building stream because what else am I going to do? July 1st was your first ever stream. God. Right, because you started streaming for summer camp. And I started streaming in the middle of June? Maybe? I either started streaming in the middle of June, because I did do a couple of the prep streams. I did some of the homework that they had. Doing the meta and all that stuff. I did a couple of the summer camp homeworks. I can actually check if I open my YouTube. And I blind myself on the YouTube studio page. Ow. And I go to the first one that isn't the speed paint. And it should tell me what date it is, because I write them down every time. There are way too many videos. Jesus Christ. I have like 100 things in there. The 15th of June. Oh, so my birthday stream basically will be my 1-year anniversary. Not quite, but it'll be close. It'll be like a week before. Assuming that I actually stream on that day. We'll see. We'll see if I actually stream on that Tuesday. But yeah. Damn. I've been here too long. I say that like that, like a year is a Herculean effort. Because it's been a lot of fun. I've missed a lot of streams. But anyway, so, it is world building. And similar to... So, last Tuesday I worked on a little article for Niall. I don't consider this to be a proper article, like any of the other articles that I work on this stream, because this is basically only for my Dungeon Master, who I'm not sure if they're in chat at the moment, because they might have fallen asleep. It's entirely possible. Hey, Kenichi, what's up? Welcome, Hungry. Welcome. But yeah, so this is like, it is a proper article in that I have actually written it. It's not just a bunch of like dot point notes. It has a profile picture in it, which isn't really necessary. My Dungeon Master does know what my character looks like, but it's just got a bunch of shit in it. I have done some work on it since the stream. I don't actually remember what I had done in the stream, but I have done some stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure this entire section is new, because I just said, insert Kistina here. Because, I had written, like, this intro paragraph, which I don't think his name was official yet. The professor has a name now. And then I had her, like 100 years of her life that were not... There was nothing for it. And so I've added an incident in which she was harmlessly pranked by a classmate, and then, she sabotaged one of their assignment submissions and got suspended. because that feels like something that she would have done. And then like I've formatted it a little bit because it was huge. This article is way longer than it has any right to be honest. Like, considering how long I've been playing the character, which is like 2 months, this is way too much information. I give this as a gift. This is a gift to my dungeon master. This is a gift. You didn't really ask for all this information, but you have it now. I named her hometown, which, if you know anything about French towns, and I don't know if anyone would, I believe that's pronounced Bourges, like the town of Bourges or Bourges or something. Avaricon is its Latin name, like from when the Romans were around. I literally just grabbed the old names of existing French cities, because I didn't want to be too overt, right? Because like the idea is that the Sylvian Empire is fantasy France. It's fantasy Napoleonic France. But I worried that saying that she went to Bordeaux would be a little too obvious, and so I picked Bertigala, which is its like Latin name. I thought that was cute. Hey, Cetrium! Welcome. Good day to you. And then, so, down here, this was originally just one big long list, and I looked at it and went, that list is too long. And so I've split it into 3 spoilers, because for some reason, and I say for some reason, there was a motivation behind this. I have given, like, 100 or so word descriptions to pretty much every important person in this character's backstory. None of these people matter. None of these people are going to show up again. But I am that person. Because what happened was my dungeon master asked me to, didn't ask me to it. Like, they said, like, hey, you can do, because Niall is of the nobility, technically. Kind of. It's complicated. It's written, like, over here. There's a whole description about it. She's from the nobility. And, they were like, you could make a family tree. And I'm like, you shouldn't have said that to me. Because then I did make a family tree, which is way too long. And now I have to deal with the fact that Niall has, like, 4 siblings. And, you know, parents and 1 grandparent. And then also 3 people on a distant branch who are relevant. I've written 2 of them. I'm going to work on writing her. And then also I have 4 other important people who you may know. This is where it gets very, very, when we hit the important people section, we just end up in notes like Corsair time and possibly deceased, 3 question marks. Tarek and Darcy actually have articles that because I'm assuming I'm going to finish Niall's article today. When I do, I will just go on to work on one of theirs because they are my retainers. Because in the game that we're playing, after Module 1 ends and we beat the Slaver Pirates, and we sail off into the Jade Sea to continue our adventure, and we take like a 2-week break. When we come back from that break, we each get 2 like NPCs that we get to like claim as our own on our boat, because we have a boat. Like the like standout thing of our campaign is we have a boat, and we have a full crew on that boat. And so each player character gets 2 NPCs that have like some skills. I actually have their like stat blocks because they act kind of weird. But like this is the stat block for Tarek, who is a dwarf monk. So he has a little stat block saying like, you know, he gets whatever on saves, and he has some abilities at levels that he can do, because he's not a full player character. I actually made him a character sheet before I realized that. So he technically has stats, but we're not using them. And then there's also this stat block, which is for Darcy, who if you were here on Saturday, that's the owl. That's the owl rogue. She has her stat block involving the fact she can make people invisible and also piss them off. I love that ability. That's going to be fun. She'll never use it, but it'll be fun as hell. Anka would have done the same. I cheated a bit on my current character as she got thrown into a different world. So there's just a handful of backstory characters that actually matter. Yeah, exactly. Like the thing with Niall is that because no, like there are two reasons why no one in the immediate family tab matters. One, she's in like the other side of the world. Like she went from France, or she went from like I would say Portugal. We'll just say like she went from the equivalent of Portugal to the equivalent of like Indonesia. So there is no interaction, like geographic interaction between herself and her immediate family. And then the second reason none of them matter is she hasn't spoken to them in 20 years. So, oops. Uh, Extended family, she spoke to them recently, except for Vincent, who is dead. Rest in peace. But like they are important because they were like actively present recently before the boat sailed. And then important people, these two matter. This guy, it's been 20 years and he might be dead. And she will not show up, but she's cool. So it's fine. It just gives me a lot of fun, because it means that, like, if anything ever happens where, like, any flashbacks are required, and I don't think they will be, but if they are required, there is a wealth of information present. Hey, Day! Good evening. Welcome. I've also added this thing. I added a side, because back when this wasn't in spoilers and it was a very long list, you know, like that disgusting long list, there was a huge gap in the sidebar, and it looked ugly. So I've added a list of things that are, I would, not necessarily important, but like little asides. So like, for instance, I've established now that Niall, because Niall is the navigator. That is her job. Her job is to navigate. And I've mentioned that her specialty is the open ocean, or anywhere where she can make decisions slowly. And also based on the stars, because she's a celestial warlock and her patron is a literal star. A literal celestial body, if you will. So that's like, because this is based on the fact that in last Thursday's session, she was forced to make navigational decisions instantaneously, and she started well and went very, very rapidly downhill. Like she like double failed a couple rolls towards the end. Like the DC was like 15 and she rolled like a 3. So in character, it's because she doesn't handle stress well, and that's not what she's here for. Hey, Emily! Good time zone to you. And then there's some other stuff. This one's probably, like, this is important. I want to make sure that I remember this, because she's, like, honor bound to do it. Like, if she does not oppose abominations, she will probably lose her pact. So I figured I should probably mention the oppose abominations thing, and also the fact she knows nothing else about her pact. There's the thing about the nobility, and how, even, because if you pick the noble background in D&D, you get a signet, you get fine clothes, a signet ring, and a scroll of pedigree. And I had to justify why she had those items, or specifically the scroll of pedigree and I guess signet ring by like extension. I had to explain why she had them, even though technically they're not nobility anymore. So there's a paragraph for that, and then a bit about why she wants to be on the boat, and then the bit about explaining why she fucking attacked a dude. Hey, welcome. You can have a link to it. It's technically not done. It's very close to done. We're going to be finishing off the last bits of it now, but I'm happy to give you a link, because the, like, core backstory is done. The backstory stuff is done. I'm just making sure that public, and is the world public? It should be. This world should be public. Because it used to be private, because it's my muckabout world. And I need to make sure that it's not. Social. Where is the button? Public. Okay, so then that link should work. So that should bring up the article. I can probably check. I can check. It's called an incognito window. What am I doing? Yep, that's public. So that can now be read. No one else has to read it. You can if you want. More power to you if you want to read about my Celestial Warlock's shenanigans. but you don't have to read it, because trust me, you will hear it. If you come to the stream often enough, you will hear about it. Because I will keep talking about her after every session. Because I like this character. Even though she's not, like, funny. She's not, like the kind of, like, funny character concept. She is just, like, she's fairly basic. And if we're perfectly honest, she is just a self-insert. If we're perfectly honest with ourselves, which I try to be, she is just a self-insert, because when I played the first couple sessions, I wasn't trying to roleplay. And so, she's different from me in a couple of ways, but she is basically still a self-insert, in that she's cool. You know, like, she's that kind of self-insert. I'm like, she has similar emotions to me, and she's cool. I like to imagine that I wouldn't go out of my way to beat up a guy and steal his horse, but I haven't been, like, ratted out to the Imperial authorities who might execute me. So maybe if I were in Napoleonic France and were to be executed by the Imperial authorities, maybe I would do that. Who knows? I do want to create character icons for my D&D characters as well. You did one already and 2 more to go. Yeah, it's a nice way to explore them in more depth, and it's nice to have, like, a reference to come back to. I believe I've shown before that my current method of keeping track of my D&D character is a literal text file in Notepad++, which is why I decided to do this. Because while the Notepad is great for keeping track of session events, or it's fine, it's not great, I do not recommend it. I'm just bad. Like, it's nice to be able to come back here and be like, okay, here's her actual backstory. And then I do also have a campaign event spoiler, which I haven't. Again, I don't expect to use this section much. That's what the text file is for. But TLDR, she spoke to a bird on behalf of a ship full of dudes, alongside Talia, convinced the child to let them into a shell by accidentally lying about a merchant she met once, got her ass beat by a guy she was already suspicious of, and panicked so hard under pressure that Pendergast nearly ran aground in a reef. But she also one-shot the captain of an enemy vessel, so that was pretty tight. And that's basically what's happened in the campaign so far. It's missing a couple of, like, events, like the part where she kicked the guy's body into like a ravine, which she really should not have done, and the time she, like, knocked out 2 pirates, or the fact that she now has a second pirate friend. Should I mention the second pirate friend, actually? Should I put him in important people? Do we think what's his name? Fuck, let me pull up his name. I know it's Jung Ho, but, like, what's his surname? Should I put Nang Jung Ho on this list? Considering that Niall was integral in just, like, getting him to come aboard. By the fact that she didn't kill him, and then was like, hey buddy, if you tell us what you know, we won't turn you over to the people who will kill you. And he's like, yeah, right. Should I put him on the list? I'm gonna put him on the list. I'll remember this boy if nobody else does. I'll remember Nang Jung Ho. I don't know what his description is. I'm gonna put him actually wait, where should I put him? Oh no, I'll put him at the bottom. He's the least important of these people. I'll say he is I'm just gonna call him an associate for the minute. And that is Nang Jung Ho. And so, the dude from the Emerald Festival who Niall knocked out, winky face, and he gave them the info about the reef, and is now on the Pendergast. Yay. In this house, we love Jung Ho. He will never show up again, but we're gonna put him in the important people category because it's, I don't know, it's proof of that Niall's merciful. I don't know, it's a character building thing, right? Just mention things. He's important. And then everyone reading this article who isn't in the campaign is like, who the fuck is the Emerald Festival and who is this guy? Why am I supposed to care? It's like, don't worry about it. Okay. That's why this is basically only for my dungeon master. Oh, jeez. And then I was in the middle of writing L's, and then I stopped like 4 days ago, and then didn't start again. So that's a me problem, and that's where we're gonna start. Because oh yeah, because I started it, and then I was like, okay, here's the dot points, and then also co-sign the recommendation, maybe. How the fuck do guilds work? Which I didn't figure out an answer to that, but I'm gonna say a letter of recommendation makes enough sense for a guild. Because, like, I think the idea is with guilds, you can join if, like, a master takes you as an apprentice or something. And so while Elle and Vincent are not masters, and Vincent isn't old enough for that, and also he is dead, they are respected enough, like they are full position holders within the guild, like full members, not just apprentices. So they are capable of being like, hey, master in the navigation guild, will you take upon this individual? We vouch for her, kind of thing. And that's what the letter of recommendation is supposed to stand for. And Elle helps vouch because having a second person is very helpful. Because the issue is that Vincent can't leave his house to do it, at the time. Is the idea. Because, like, Vincent was, I think the term is bedridden. I know that, like, some, like, disabled people, like, have different terms they prefer to use that sound better. Like, for instance, like, you don't use wheelchair bound, you use, like, a wheelchair user because they're not bound to the wheelchair, they just use it, kind of thing. But I don't know, he is sick. Like, it wasn't, like, he was dying. So I feel like bedridden is the correct word. I might look into that later. Ableism. Words are hard. I try my best and I do not succeed very often. So what is Elle's doing? And then I had the bit where I realized that Elle's name is really confusing because there's Niall and there's Eloisa. So there's like 3 people whose names are Elle. And I'm like, that's unfortunate. So she might get a name change at some point. Just because that might make things easier. In fact, maybe we can do that. Well, no, we'll do it later, because I'll have to go on behind the name and find a Dutch name. Because I do not speak Dutch. Everyone witty. L does shit. There's a format here, and I've already forgotten it. Inheriting only the businessman elements of my mother's artistry. Of his mother's. I can read. Merchant, travels here for many years. L is... She's only 120... Only 127. He's like a quarter elf. This is why I stopped, because I wasn't sure how to word she was doing. Because she is a merchant. Inherited her father's... Yeah. Tabs, clicking on things is fun. And also it means that the article isn't like... whoosh... extremely long. It makes it just nice and easy. You can just digest it in parts. Because if you read through and you're like, I don't care about her family, you don't have to click on it. Just don't worry about it. And then I like how the allowed looks in this theme, which I think is the Eldritch Horror one. It looks really nice. Like I love that color. I don't remember whose this is. Part of my gut wants to say it's TJ's, but don't quote me on that. Whoever did the Eldritch Horror theme. These colors, man. They're good as hell. I know, I do need to find a use for channel points. The issue is that I can't, like... I don't know what incentives people want. Hydrate. That's always one use for channel points. The issue is if you spam hydrate too much, I will just stop doing it. I only have so big a stomach. I can only drink so much water. But, like, I don't know what I would put as a like, incentive to spend points. Because, like, I can't do, like, an event. Because events often want more time. And I can't really, like, dedicate time in that way. Like, I can't be like, I'll do a 4-hour stream or something. Because, like, I don't want to stream until 4 AM again. Like I did back in... Back in before I got a job, I used to stream until 4 AM sometimes, and that was not a good idea. I don't recommend that. Don't rewatch the Minecraft streams, it's not worth it. I don't know, I can't think of any good ideas for, like, things to use. I mean, you don't have to give me points to eat a fruit bar on stream. I can just do it. I just prefer not to. Like, I can just do that. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm not hungry. But, like, I could just do that. And I can't cook, so I can't do a cooking stream. These are the issues. I could always do, like, yeah, 610 consecutive showcase, not a good idea. I mean, you could do that. I think the issue is I have it set for 1 showcase per person per stream. I think it's like 3 showcases in a stream, but 1 per person. I can always change that. How do polls work? It would definitely fill a few streams. I mean, because, like, when summer camp starts, so in July, you know, in the far future of July, I'll probably up the showcase number so that we can show off people's summer camp articles as they're working on them. So it'd be a good time for that. That'll be a good time to have channel points in July. I don't know. It's kind of complicated. Like, I don't have good ideas for use of channel points. I mostly use channel points to... Yeah, we're doing a month of Dinosaur Bob showcases. Welcome to the Dinosaur Bob second channel. Today we are reading this Dinosaur Bob article. And this one, and this one. We're reading a whole category of them. We're gonna read the entirety of Criterion back to back, cover to cover. Up the cost too. I could do that, you're right. I could always up the cost to maybe like 500. Make them cost a little bit more. At least until July. I might change that after stream. I might rebalance some of the numbers a little bit. Maybe I'll make sprints cost a little bit more too. And then I can't change the emote ones, so you kind of have to deal with those. But I mean, I usually use channel points just to get people's emotes. I love stealing people's emotes. Without paying money. I ain't got no money. Fuck. My World Ammo subscription cost me like $140 a year. It's like, oh my god. Shit costs so much money. I don't earn that much. 620 showcases now. Oh my god. Yeah. You get about 200 per hour if you watch, and then, but Bob also gets more because he's a subscriber. So he actually gets more than 200, which is why he's up to 620,000. Or whatever. Numbers are hard. 62k. Yeah, I don't want to gamify like too much stuff, right? But like, it's nice to have incentives. Like maybe I'll look into like how polls work. Because I think there's a thing you can do with polls where you can get, where people can, oh no, because that was bits, wasn't it? I'm thinking of what writer Greg did, but that was bits, where you can spend bits to get more votes in a poll. Which was the Game of Tomes polls that he did, where you could get him to dedicate his word count for the hour to a specific house. And he used bits for those. I don't think he could use channel points, but that's because that was for charity. So if I look into how polls work, I might be able to use polls to do a couple of channel points things. Because there might be stuff like, even like in this specific stream, like I have things that I don't know the answer to and that it'll be fun to get people to vote on. Like for instance, I have this bit where I'm like, yes, Professor Jean-Thérin Weissefine, possibly deceased. So what I could use polls for would be asking people, hey, is he dead? And if so, did Niall's pirate girlfriend kill him? You know? That kind of thing. But I don't know how polls work. Like, I don't know how to do them. And I'm also, like, on Streamlabs, so I don't have, like, the powers. Like, you don't have all of the buttons. Ow, my eyeballs. Ow, 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 ow. Twitch. Send me into the Twitch. Send me into Twitch so it's a dark mode. Oh, beautiful. Why doesn't YouTube Studio have a dark mode? Of course. I have no idea how to do anything in on Twitch. So I'd have to look it up to like make it function. Make it do like the cool stuff. Boop. But that could be a fun thing. If I figure out how polls work and if they use channel points, that might be fun for like maybe, you know, like stuff. I could always be like, hey y'all, I don't know what I want to work on today. Vote. Vote in stream. Give me your channel points and tell me what you want, what article I should work on today. That'll be good for summer camp as well. I'm just thinking about summer camp, basically. Summer camp is easy to gamify in that sense, you know? And anyway, I've written 3 words in half an hour, so we're doing well. By the end of the stream, I'll have a sentence. Heard her father's merchant business upon his death. Prior to this, she had worked as an assistant aboard his vessels, occasionally doing trade deals on his behalf to help the... No, it's occasionally doing trade deals on his behalf, not alt. Alt, stop. Practice she'd worked as an assistant aboard his vessels, occasionally doing trade deals on his behalf. What else does she do? I need... You know what I forgot to grab out the actual family tree that I have somewhere. Let's grab that. Let's grab the Odelia family tree. Because I wrote... On the family tree, they have, like, 7-word descriptions. All of them. Boop. Here we are. They have, like, 7-word descriptions. Or maybe a little bit more. Like, I don't know. Like, a max of, like, 20. Like Barry and Amamian, who is a sailor who got roped into a smuggling scheme because he's too trusting and now he's in prison. Overseas somewhere. Christina probably has one of the more detailed ones, which is really weird, because this was before she became a pirate. So I don't know why she has so much information. Virwarin is also very detailed for some reason. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know why he's so detailed. What's your problem, bro? Yeah, so Elle just had a stubborn half-elf with her father's smarts and her mother's wit. Inherited Vincent's merchant ships. Wow. Good job. She is married to a mechanic, which is interesting. Because I made him up as well in the process, because I gave them all descriptions. Every character here is described. Like Magra Rico, nee Deodelia, who is Kea Valora's legitimized bastard, even though she distanced herself from him in adulthood, and then she got married and, like, disappeared. The 7th child of original... Like, there's just too much information on this stupid chart. That's not what I wanted. But, like, you know, like, this chart is... Like, they're not detailed individually, but the fact that they are all detailed is itself kind of weird. You know? It was a decision that I made. And I'm blaming Day for it, because Day did mention it. Like, hey, could you give them descriptions? My favorite is, indeed, Gerard. You ever fall off a university roof? Canonically, Gerard is the reason that Odelia University has railings on its roofs. Like, that's canon. Like, that is just canon. He's the reason that they have railings on those roofs now. Like, on the rooftop stuff. Gotta have safety railings, yeah? And there's a bunch of, like, people getting executed for treason in here. Someone who is in the military who might be dead, but no one's actually sure because they haven't seen him. Because if he was alive, he'd only be in his, like, 300s. Like, he'd be in his late 300s, like 380 or something. Actually, probably not even that. He'd be about 340. Like, he's not old. So he could still be alive, it's just that he's in prison. And has been for 200 years. So if he's alive, he's been in there for a while. That's assuming he's still in prison. He might have been let out. Nobody knows. No one has seen this man. I don't know why he shares a name with Niall's twin brother. These are not things that I have the ability to explain. I made these decisions, but I do not know for what purpose. Maybe it's because he was like, hey, yeah, Peleus Quinaris was like an important military dude. So I'm gonna take his middle name because I want to be cool military man. It's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Why not do that? Because I'm operating on the, like what was it? D&D Beyond says? Where they're like, oh yeah, for the first 100 years, elves are not adults and they have child's names like Sunny and Gerard and Zinam. And then when they turn 100, they like pick a name. Like it's a goddamn, like, you've turned 13 and you're homestuck. You have to pick your name, dude. Or the name was chosen for you, but you didn't know it. You know, that kind of weird shit. So he just picked the name Quinaris, and then Theodel means something, I'm sure. But yeah, these people have too much information. I cut myself off at some point, because I was like, 700 years ago was already too much. I mentioned it! It's mentioned in his descriptions, eh? It says Niall's twin brother. But for what it's worth, in the immediate family, it says older twin brother. Niall has a twin brother. He is a dork, and he is in the Imperial military. He will never be relevant. Niall misses him deeply. Yeah, that's fair. Because I gave them all jobs, or some of them jobs. I gave some of them jobs. Most of them have jobs. Like, 2 people don't have jobs. Like, for instance, Sunny doesn't have a job because he's dead, and, Magra doesn't have one because she's basically a housewife. But they all have, like, descriptions of, like, jobs or something. Some of them. Niniki is just, like, vibing. She's doing whatever. Catriane is, vibing in a different way. No one knows who Jael's parents are. You know, like, there's a lot of weird shit. And then, like, Air's a singer. We love, this kid. He's cool. I also love this kid who was just, how much character can a 2-year-old have? Now, speaking as somebody who has 3, like, nephew? A niece and 2 nephews, kind of, they're my cousin's kids. Little kids have a lot of character, but, like, not, like, character. They are just very emotive beings. But I'm like, listen, it's a 2-year-old. I don't know what to tell you. This baby, like, you know, like, loud baby. No one's just chilling. It's great. I like whooping cough. Whooping cough is also happening. And there's too much information on this stupid thing. This thing has too much information. Don't read it. But I use it as a basis to work from in the writing of all of these character descriptions that I'm giving for pretty much every person that Niall knows. With the exception, like, because I think originally in Niall's backstory, the character of Jean Thurin Weisephine was, like, her, like, friend, as in, like a classmate who betrayed her, and then I changed him to her professor and, like, her supervisor on the project. So that changed that dynamic. In theory, there probably should be someone else in this section who's, like, a friend of hers from, her homeland. She doesn't have any friends in Welverand. This is an important element of her character, that she's very lonely. Well, she was, at least. But there probably should be a friend mentioned here, but I'm just gonna let Christina fill that role, to be honest. Like, I'm just gonna let these 2 stand for Niall's non-familial relationships prior to coming aboard the boat and having these 2 as friends. Since I'm or at least, like, work colleagues. They're colleagues. Tarek, Darcy, and Niall are colleagues. They work together because their jobs are connected to each other. They kind of have to. Whereas, like, the captain does not really give a shit. Well, he's probably a bad example. But, like, the cook does not need to know the helmsman, you know? So the cook would not care. Even the doctor probably doesn't care about either of those people, unless they get hurt. Because, like, why would she? Why would she care? She does not need to, but Niall literally works with them, like, as part of her job. So, it's important. It's important to her character that she knows these people, who have names that mean things, I'm sure. I picked their names and then did not think to write down why. He inherited the business, Casey's assistant, Casey's doing trade deals on his behalf. I don't really know what else to say about her. This is kind of a problem. That's not where I wanted to go. Hey, Darcy looks cool though, doesn't she? Yeah. No, so, stubborn. She inherited the boats. She did not really get a lot of info. At least him I could build out fairly easily, because, you know, he had an illness, so that means something. Because I think the way that I've kind of figured it in my head, that of these 3 people that Niall kind of stayed with, Vincent is probably the person she was closest to. Not that she's not close to Eloisa or Elle, but I think I just figured it in my head that she was closer to Vincent. Probably because they are... Well, no, they're not really close in age. Because she's closest in age to Elle, but... I don't know. She just got along really well with Vincent. Which is why in the family tree I mentioned that she helped look after him towards the end. And that's why he wrote her a recommendation letter, because he wanted to help her out. Which is very nice. She might have even helped out on his boats at one point. There's a kind of, like, chunk of time where she's not, like... There's not that much information about what she was doing in Welverand, so she might have been on his boats at one or another time. Just, like, helping out. Because that's a way to get her foot in the door. In this Navigator Guild. Or whatever. I think it was originally the Astronomers Guild, and then we changed that. Because she's not an astronomer, she's a navigator. Technically. That is contractually her job. If that is what she's doing an okay job. What else can I add about Elle? Because, like, that's the shortest description so far, and that feels unfair. She needs, like, an extra, like, 2 lines of, well, like, at least, like, a line and a bit of, like, screen space to be on par with everybody else. Vessels. She is not as harsh as her father was, but is, also not as, adventurous as he could be, preferring to stick to quote-unquote safe trades with repeat customers rather than expanding into new areas. New areas, full stop. I think there was a word that I was gonna go there, but I'll just stick with new areas, because I don't know anything about trade. And that is why she's not a trader. Niall is not a trader. She is a traitor with a T, but she's not a trader. I hate those 2 words, and they sound the same when I say them too quickly. This also looks bad. That I need to put another word in here, because they're too close. Her name's too close. Okay, I know how to do this. A stubborn and witty young woman. Boom. And she, yeah, we'll say... Because I mentioned that I'm gonna say half-elf. We're gonna specify she's a half-elf. Young half-elf. Technically she's a quarter-elf, but we're not gonna get into that. She would count mechanically as a half-elf. Okay, that looks better, because now it doesn't have her name, like, directly above it. I think I've avoided that for everybody. Yeah. I might need to fix Quinaris a little bit. His name's a bit too close to itself. What's this? What's what? What did I do? What did I break? What is this? How phrases of where am I setting? Oh. Oh, did I not? Should I? Okay, I can change that. For what it's worth. That can change. That can change. The reason, so basically what I did, because it's only in here. There is only the one branch. So what happened, because I assumed that this must have been just like an assumption that I made. I made the assumption that Welverand was not like only human, but like most people that you're going to meet in Welverand are going to be humans. And so when Eloisa moved to Welverand, she married a human. And Vincent did too. It's Elle who goes back to marrying someone who isn't a human. She marries an elf. I can change that. I can absolutely change that, but that was what I wrote. I wrote that Eloisa married a human, Vincent married a human. Oh, okay. Oh. That's super normal. Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, I'll just say young woman then, and we'll just have her be a human. I'm just gonna close that before I keep opening it. I'll fix this down there. Cause when I made Vincent, the reason I gave Vincent the illness, in terms of construction, is that I basically just, like, I went, well, a half-elf probably doesn't live as long as an elf. And that was part of why he died in his 160s instead of, like, his 400s or something. But yeah, okay, she's the only one who mentions half-elf. So I can edit that. Because if I'm gonna actually rename her as well, I can edit both of those bits at once. I'm gonna write a note. I'm gonna put that in my text document. Not in that one. The other text document. Chuck it over here. Becomes helmsman. Have little box. Little box. Oh, I fixed that, actually. I fixed that one. Why do I have a family list in there? God damn it. Okay, so, rename L, remove ref to being, half rice in her box. Because I'll update the family tree overall to make it correct. Now that we've accidentally fleshed out some of the characters and changed things. Because, like, Eloise is now like a hippie who does art shit, and, you know, Christina's now a pirate, so... Things need to be edited and updated, so I'll just roll that all into itself. And now we're here to the fun time. No, I was gonna fix Quinaris. I'll fix Quinaris first. I need to add, like, a word. Was. Okay, that... Something about the way I've worded this makes it sound like he's dead. I'm gonna change that to is. I'm gonna change all the tenses in here. They were inseparable. They made an effort to... Okay, no, there's just the one that needs to change, because was made it sound like he was dead. How do I edit that? How do I edit that to not do the name thing? I know it depends... Actually, no, that wouldn't depend on your, resolution. That would be, stacked either way, basically. I think this phrase is probably weird. Because he's described... That's where his description of, like, character is. This was just to say that they were very close because they're twins. Maybe... 8, 4, and 5... Well, like, 30 minutes older. When 30 minutes older and much bigger. Maybe we'll go that. Because he is taller. Like, Niall is short. She is way shorter than she has any right to be. Considering who her family are. Like, she is way too short. Because I made her 5'6", which is not short. I'm insisting that 5'6" is not normally short. Because I'm 5'4", and I'm short. But if you're 5'6", you are not short to me. You are just, like, average height. But everyone else in the party is, like, 6 foot. So Niall is really short. And I'm imagining that most of her family are really short, but because she's a twin... she grew really short, and her brother took all the tall. So Quinaris is like 6'2", and Niall's like 5'6". Like, what the fuck, dude? Leaning against one of Dini's old things, making half-elves super duper normal. You're gonna have more human and elf. Human and elf are distinctly different species. Drow and elves are the same species, but you can get light-skinned drow or dark-skinned elves, and it's just variant stats and tendencies to have one trait or the other. Ah, okay. That makes complete sense. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. I was just going on the basis that one parent was an elf and one was a human, so I was like, half-elf. I wasn't thinking mechanically or anything. I was just like, yeah. You can fuck with magic, it's fine. This is totally good. Alright, so now we finished the parts that are, the basics. The ones that are simple and easy. Because I already knew about them. Now we get to important people. I'm going to leave Christina for a bit, Because I'm gonna... Actually, hold on. While we're doing this, I'm going to pull up how to do poll on Twitch. Please help. How do I make a Twitch poll? Ow, my eyeballs. Exclusive to partner affiliate. I am indeed a partner. I can do that. Or whatever the phrase is. I'm the one of them. You can spit. No, that doesn't tell me. I want to know how to make it. Oh, because I don't have it on the thing. If you create a poll, you first need to add the manage poll option. Right, because you're, like, weird and you've added buttons everywhere and you make this very complicated. Manage your poll. Yes, please. Thank you. There we go. Hey. Okay. Alright. Yes, I want to create a new poll. Thank you. Okay. What should... I'm going to call him Weissafine, because I'm basically going to get... I'm going to work on Casino while the poll runs in the background. I'm basically going to ask, what should Weissafine's fate be? And so, first one is still alive. Congratulations. Dead of natural causes. Killed by Niall's pirate GF. If you want to make it easy, you could also hide it between 7 different options and 14 different menus, right? Right? Who said things should be easy? It wasn't too hard. Oh, you can't make the response so long. Aww. Beans. Killed by pirate GF. Because I wanted to say killed by Niall's pirate GF, but it wouldn't fit, so just killed by pirate GF. I'm going to allow initial votes, and I'm going to make it 3 minutes long. Because that seems reasonable. 10 bits per vote, 200 slices per vote. What, 10 and 200. Boom. There we go. Okay. So there's now a poll up. Basically, to explain, Weissafine is a man who was Niall's, like, PhD supervisor, and he was the one who ratted her out to the Imperial authorities, and got her arrested, and got her exiled. And I am not sure if he is alive or not. And so, if you open Twitch poll, you can decide if he is still alive, if he's dead of natural causes, or if Niall's pirate girlfriend killed him at some point. If you pick the third option, this changes what's happening with her, but that's fine. Just pick whichever option you think is fun. And if no one votes, then I'll just roll it again, because I have no idea how polls work, so I have no idea if it's functional. It looks like it's functional. I can see it. You have to click the button and, like, pull it down. There we go. Okay, we've got 1 vote on the board. 1 vote on the board for still alive. Congratulations, Weissafine. I just give those 3 options. There's probably more, but that's, like, the ones that I would know. I'm like, yeah, one of these. These seem reasonable. These are, like, the only ones that make sense to me. So I was like, one of these 3. Had to watch an ad. Ew. Gross. No one wants to watch ads. Okay. Let's work on Casino while we get that running a little bit. So, I've already put fiancé in there. And I've explained the annulment thing in the sidebar. So, how did I describe her before? I described her as successful and cheeky, which is... one of those is correct. Technically. Cheeky. Never great. Passion. Finer things. Hey! Hey, we're getting some competition now. No one wants to vote for dead of natural causes because it's boring. Hey, nothing wrong with dying of natural causes. It'd be like that. He's like 460. He's 468. I've decided he was 468. I rolled a dice for it. So you can pick. Hell, if people vote for dead of natural causes, you can tell me what he died of. The votes are even. Oh my god, this is going to be a down on the wire thing, isn't it? Oh my god. Finer things in life. Christina is a merchant. Oh, the issue is I can't actually decide what she's doing unless I know if she killed him. Damn it, because I can't describe if she's a merchant or not. Because if she did, it changes a lot of things. So I have to actually wait for this to run out. There is like 20 seconds, maybe. There is not long. That's not the button I wanted to pick. Don't do that. There is not long. There is not long on that poll. You gotta pick. Folks, you gotta pick. Folks. No! Retired the ball and bumped it 600. Well, no. That's what I'm picking. But, so Day. The thing is, what happens, so now we have in competition, the two things that we think happened to Josephine are either he is still alive or Christina killed him. If he's still alive, then whatever happens to Christina is whatever I decide, basically. If Christina killed him, then there's no way she's still a French merchant, right? She can't be. And so that changes things. That is true, because the thing is, as far as Niall knows, he would still be alive. Like, that's the thing, because she doesn't know, like, in the descriptions of these characters, especially her immediate family, the only parts, like, Niall only knows the first couple sentences. The last sentence or so of each of her immediate family members is something that Niall does not know, which isn't super clear, but, like, importantly, like, Day knows that that's what's happening, is that Niall doesn't know. Niall doesn't know what her family thinks about any of this, because she can't talk to them, she's not going to see them again, she'll never know. So, you know, Laucian having changed his opinion of his daughter after she was exiled, Niall can assume it happened, but she doesn't actually know. Similarly, she doesn't know that Adderley took her betrayal very personally, doesn't know that Quinaris, like, threw himself into being a soldier to avoid thinking about it, doesn't know that Yvian is really happy that she's gone because now he gets to be the smart sibling. So, it's just like, he doesn't know. She doesn't know. She has no idea that he's happy she's gone. She does not know that. She might be aware of this bit, the fact that he didn't really receive as much attention as she did, but that requires her to have self-reflection, and I don't know if she had that at the time. In hindsight, she might know that, but at the time she didn't. So, you know, but we'll take what the poll said. The poll had even votes because Bob gave 600 channel points to it. The poll stated that, you know, he's either still alive or killed by natural causes. And that's just it. That's just it. So he's either still alive or she killed him. And so, whomst knows? Whomst knows, you know? And so, I will be vague on that. We can be vague. I am aware of vagary and being not clear, for I have no ability to be clear in my life. So, indeed, possibly deceased is indeed how it is. I'm gonna leave that there as a note. Actually, I'm gonna say, so, either still alive or murdered. Unclear. Because, I mean, you could possibly make the case, right? The thing with Josephine. So maybe the kind of thing that's happening in universe, right? Like, not from Niall's perspective. Because Niall has no clue what's happened to him after she left. She does not know. She's pretty sure he's alive. She did attack him, but not that badly, so he's alive. He's probably retired, right? And he lives in his own fucking house. He just chills. So, it's entirely possible that any of the people who would know, like, the people who, like, what to say, like, Niall's family might not know if he had been murdered. For sake of example, like, they might not know. So, you know, that's not something that Niall would have any ability to know unless she sees Christina, and Christina goes, hey, I murdered the guy who betrayed you, and Niall's like, what the fuck? The fuck, though? So we'll leave that vague, but we can work it in. We can work it in, because if there is an ambiguity on this front, right? I accept my cards back to your eyes, go, who knows? Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I figure if we're gonna have this be, like, ambiguous, then there has to be, both options have to be possible, right? Like, it has to be possible that he's still alive or that Christina killed him. And if Christina had killed him, if that is what she has done, she cannot be a Sylvian merchant anymore. Which means, there's two options for what Christina must be doing in order for it to be possible that she has actually murdered him. She has either gone full pirate, just full in on it, or she has changed sides. Because that's how privateers work. Because she's a corsair. She's a French corsair at the time that Niall leaves. Niall doesn't know that, but she's a French corsair. And the thing is, when you're a corsair or a privateer, you can just switch sides if the other side is happy to give you a letter of marque. So Christina may have, or must have, is either gone full pirate, or she went to Fantasy England and went, hey, I know how French boats work. Hire me. And now she attacks French ships for a living, instead of attacking English ships, which is what she was doing previously. So, something like that. So it was important. See, these things tie together. These are all, important character things for this character, because it means she's either a pirate or she's still a privateer, but not for the French. Again, not that Niall would know. It's kind of hard to describe it, because, the thing is that, Niall doesn't know. Niall does not know. So while the family get that little, line... Because I guess, the thing... I guess if we're, justifying why this information is present. Because the information... that last sentence is basically present for Day's use. To know what I... based on, since I've created these fairly one-dimensional characters, that I believe that they do X, right? So, in my opinion, Niall's grandmother has denounced her entirely and doesn't talk about her, right? So that's why this is there from an out-of-character, this is there for the purpose of my Dungeon Master knowing what the fuck is going on with this character. In character, you could, in, universe, you could argue that Niall kind of knows because Eloisa is in contact with Orifera, but it's whatever. It is what it is. We can work with that. Have to bed now, brain frayed. Good night, Day! Thank you for coming. I'm glad you enjoyed the page. I'm glad you enjoy all the backstory that I have. I have written much backstory. Too much backstory. Good night. It is many backstory. There's 2,000 words in this article. There's too many words here. Some of it is formatting. Most of it isn't. Most of it is not formatting. Which is a little bit... Too many words. Too many words. Way too many words. I'm gonna describe her as a merchant. So she's still a merchant. Operating... Is a variously successful is the phrase in my head. I don't know if that makes sense, but it feels evocative to me. So I'm just she's sometimes successful as a merchant. It has 3K words. Hell yeah. And you want to learn about next? Currently lives in an 11-page Word document. That's a lot of words. The thing is that, if I remove this huge section of family, I'm pretty sure that the article is only 1,000 words long. The characters are 90% of this because they're all 100 words each. But they're important, so they are here. Oops. Things in life. Lina is a very successful merchant. She has known Niall since they were teens. And since they were young. Niall, Christina's 10 years old, so they can't both have been teens. Since they were young and attending Odelia University together. and was her childhood sweetheart. Aww. She inherited. My defense second one is a changeling, and you explored many concepts. You thought something like that would think completely different about. Yeah, that's true. Like depending on the card, sometimes you have to think about a lot of stuff, or you want to. Like, you don't really have to just. I don't think you need to defend yourself for having a lot of thoughts about your characters. But that's because if I said you had to defend yourself, I would be a hypocrite. Because I have a lot of thoughts. Like, I have in my actual like regular world building, not my like role-playing world building, there's like a character article that's like maybe like 600, maybe 800 words long. But I have been thinking about that character on and off since like September 2018. Like they have been in my head for nearly 3 years. And so I've probably thought the equivalent of like, you know, an 11-page Word document just about that character. And there are so many notes spread throughout my like Discord notes channel. It's a mess. Like if I go into my Silly Notes Discord and I search for the character name Rianne, there are 66 results. Now some of those are of course mentioning their name multiple times in a post, but a lot of those posts, some of them hit the Discord message limit. So, like, I have written a lot of words about this character that are not present in their character article, because their character article is very, like, basic and deliberately does not tell story events. So, like, it just happens. Really escalated, you went down multiple rabbit holes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, this character has already escalated from the point where, like, she has gone in a completely different direction than I originally planned, and at this point, I don't know what's happening. I'm along for the ride. She can just go. She's just going. She is just going. I have ideas and then they don't happen. I'm like, ah. Votes using her inheritance from her father. Someone who can just change their appearance with different stuff about like identity, gender, and appearance, and tell more stuff. That is true. Like if you can just change a lot of like the visual signifiers on a dime, like do they mean anything to you? What do they mean anything? If they do, what? What will you use to define like identity for yourself? There's a lot of stuff in there. So that is true. Like that's a lot to think about if that's where you want to go, and clearly you did. Hell yeah. It's from her father. Until done. But has not always turned a profit on her trades. As such, she sought a letter of marque without Niall's knowledge. Letter of marque without Niall's knowledge. And has been a privateer for many years. I'm gonna leave that very vague. Because has been a privateer for many years does not specifically mean she has been a privateer for the French. She may have been a privateer for the English. At one point. But she was a privateer before Niall was exiled. That is something that has, like, you know, like, she was a privateer, but she was a corsair specifically. But, like, corsairs and privateers are technically the same thing. Just the word corsair is cool as hell. So I'm just like, corsair fucking rules. Just sounds cool, which is why it's a brand. That's why you name your brand that, because it's cool. The intro paragraph to the word document. Okay. So Ezra is a deeply good-hearted person who believes Saloon guides them to bring good to this world. But as a changeling, they struggle with their own sense of identity and personality. They hide behind personas they've built themselves or picked up over time. But deep inside, they do not know who they actually are. On the contrary, they fear exploring who they actually are. So they keep lying to themselves to not lose this little sense of identity they have built themselves. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. And they have a little scrap of their identity, and if they interrogate it, they worry it'll just disappear. It's like, we're not going to interrogate that further. We're just going to keep going. Just keep switching personas. Don't stop. Don't think. Just keep going. I like that. That's cool. Within her rights to, she has not had her engagement. She did not know the engagement after Niall was exiled. So she probably has the longest paragraph now, which makes sense because, you know, they were married. Congratulations to the pirate lady. Congratulations to hot pirate lady, who maybe will get an article, I don't know. Probably not. Alright, now we're on to the professor. As soon as I feel like someone is questioning that, I just book it, move somewhere else, and build a new life there. Yeah, no, that seems completely reasonable if that's like a thing you're worried about. Like, no, no thoughts. Keep moving. Keep moving. I've never described Jean Theron's character, because he's not on the family tree. So now I need to kind of figure out what his personality is. I called him a miserly git, and I don't remember if miserly is actually a word that means what I think it means. Oh, that's very helpful. Excuse me? Ooh. Fuck, alright. That's not the word I want. No, okay, let's define the word miser. What's a miser mean? Someone, okay, so miserly is not the word I want. Whew, boy, okay. What was cantankerous? I'm just thinking of, like, old people words. Hell yeah, I found it. I found the word cantankerous. We got it. We got him. I'm gonna call him cantankerous. I think I was thinking of Scrooge, is why I said miserly. Considering they can just change their appearance, disappearing never to be found is surprisingly easy. Yeah, it's like, hey, have you seen this person who looks like this? No, because I don't look like that anymore. I look completely different. Who would know? No one will know. Unless I tell them, they will have no idea. Very easy. Oop, shit. Hell yeah. Okay. Cantankerous. I spelled it correctly the first time and then couldn't spell it again. Cantankerous and... I probably don't want to use the word git, but I am going to look up what the word git means. Unpleasant or contemptible person. Should I just call him a cantankerous git? No, because it'll get his name will hover again. I can't do that. I need to have another word. Cantankerous is not going to be long enough to get it to go as far as it needs to. Which would be very, very annoying. Ooh. Argumentative, uncooperative. Actually, I'm going to say clever and cantankerous. A clever but cantankerous old man. Elf. The issue is his name is long as hell, so it's probably still going to actually hover underneath it, and it's going to look bad. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, that was just me. We're good? Don't panic. My internet's bad. God damn it, you bastard. Your name's too long. Okay, I have a way to fix this. It's called, I'm going to remove his title, he doesn't deserve it. And I'm going to put it in here. This will make my problem. This will fix my problem. Please don't crash again. Thank you. It's closer. We're getting... I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna... We'll figure it out. Cause it's almost not overlapping, but it's just a little bit too close for me. Like, it's, cause it's like, they're right next to each other. Your name's too long, old man. But I had to make sure it was French. And then Jean X is very French. So you have to have at least one very French man. But it was way more, but it's only 3,500 words. Considering most of that is bullet points, it is still a lot. Yeah. Yeah, like, when you think of it that way, it's like, if it's bullet points, that is a lot of words. I have no idea how many words are in my notes article, because most of my campaign notes is list of people, and then a lot of words of me yelling. One sentence is I have a map. Smiley face. And then a bit where out of character someone said, I think Morgan may have poisoned the water hole. And it's like, oh, fuck. There's a lot of words in that notepad already, and it's only like a couple of months. It's like, oops, that's a long one. And I'm never gonna clean it up, because even though I made a campaign event spoiler, I don't plan to use it. Maybe I will at some point for the benefit of people who want to know what the hell's happening, but I'm under no illusions that anyone aside from my Dungeon Master will read this article. It's only really intended for them. I'm just writing it because I am weird, and I want to read it sometimes. It's for Day and me. I don't think anyone else in the party is going to read it. I don't think they should. I don't think they're allowed to. I forbid them. No one else in my party is allowed to read this. It's like how no one else in my party can read Florian's backstory, so they don't know what he did. I mean, they know what he did. I already told them, but, like, in character, you probably don't know. I have no idea. No one knows what his deal is. He's chilling. He's doing something. Because I did write up his backstory. I didn't do it on stream because it's The Witcher and it's a bit more, like, grim. Whereas Niall's just kind of... Like, the only bit of Niall's backstory that's a bit weird is when she beats up a dude. But that's normal. That's normal D&D shit, you know? It happens. When in doubt, beat someone up. Was a teacher at Odelia University for over 2 centuries. He is a long-standing member of the community. Majoring in... he primarily taught history and supervised many of the in-depth research projects of his top-level students, such as Niall. It was through him that she acquired her final assignment, and it was his cowardice. It was his own, because that's how I describe him. He was a cowardly and cantankerous dude. Cowardly was the word that I wanted. He is clever, but he's also a coward. Because the reason he betrayed her is because he was worried that if he didn't, cause she hands him this writing about the, like, true origin of the elf species. They're from another plane of reality. And, because it's not related to their assignment at all. Her assignment is about, like, the elven kingdoms. Like, before the Empire. But she hands him this thing. She's like, I found something out, and I didn't want to just let it go. So here's my notes on it. And do what you want with them. And she hands it to him, and he takes it home, and he reads it, and he goes, this is treason, what has been handed to me. Because it goes against Imperial doctrine. And he's sitting in his home, this old fucking asshole man, and he goes, if I don't tell someone immediately what has been given to me, and I am found to be harboring this information, I'm gonna get executed. And so this coward man just fucking rats out his prize pupil because he doesn't want to die. Which, I mean, fair. Fair enough. But, like, you could just talk to her and then burn it. You could just tell her, hey, don't do that, and then just burn it. Just burn it. You don't have to rat on it. Like, you don't have to tell the fucking police. You could just burn it. You know, you've been teaching this woman for like 80 years of your life, which is the majority of hers. Like, you have known her for like nearly a century of time. You can be pretty confident you know her character by now. She's not like going to start a revolution here. So you could just burn it and tell her to stop. But no, he's too much of a coward. He worries he'll get arrested, so he just fucking rats her out. Saves his own ass. Fucking coward. So I have thought about his character, I just forgot about it. Final assignment, which I don't even remember exactly what it was. Yes, the early Sylvian states. And he was the one to report her to the authorities over her, how would you describe that? The warlock gained knowledge. He retired shortly after the incident, after he was attacked, and has lived quietly in his home. So we'll leave it there. We'll leave it at that. So we'll leave his fate vague, as the poll decreed, which is that he retired shortly after he was attacked because Niall beat him up, and then he's just been chilling. He's just been very quietly living at home. Maybe he feels guilty. Who knows? That's not my problem. That is definitely not my problem. So like he's just chilling. And then maybe he's been murdered since then. Who knows? Again, maybe privateer means she's switched sides. Who knows? Like, for the sake of my dungeon master, some of the information is given that Niall does not know, but we'll leave that bit vague, and they can decide if for some ungodly reason Niall's pirate GF shows up, they can decide if she did in fact murder the guy. That is not my problem. Not anymore, baby. Alright, now we're up to Tarek. Hello! Welcome to the Purple Calamity. I don't remember if I've seen you around, but welcome. We are world building. Kind of. I'm basically working on an article for my character in a D&D campaign, and I've already described her backstory, which is what I was doing last week, and currently I am detailing some of the people that she knows, or knew, in some cases. Some of them are dead. Like 2 of them might be dead. At least 1 of them is dead. Oh, my little scratch note, you need a rebrand. Ah, okay. Totally fair. I like the new username. Welcome back. Welcome to being calamitously purple. That is a cool name though, damn. I'm a fan of that. Now I have to describe the retainers. Oh no. I'm gonna skip the retainers because they're a pain in the butt. Actually. Damn it, I needed to... I was gonna work on Darcy while Day was here, but Day has gone to bed. Shit. Because I was gonna ask if she can be a merchant spy. I'm like, shit. I needed to clear her backstory. I'll deal with Darcy later. I'll DM my DM and I'll check if she can be a merchant spy. Because she has a whole thing going on. Maybe. I haven't discussed it because I thought about it at like 2 AM yesterday. I was like, I have a story. Do I use Fiverr? No, I don't use Fiverr, either as a purchaser or a hireable individual. I don't use Fiverr. Unfortunate. Because I don't have money and I have been too lazy to do commissions. I keep trying to and then I don't. Like there was a, when was it? When did I, like, I drew a portrait in like early, in early February, and I was like, this is gonna be me prepping for commissions, and then I only did 1 and then I didn't do any more. And I was like, well, beans. So I haven't gotten around to it yet. I do want to do commissions at some point though. It will pay me to draw portraits. Buying gig on there using Amazon money. I have no idea. I also don't use Amazon. So I have no idea if you can pay for a Fiverr gig using Amazon money. I'm sure there's people that would not. I don't know. Some people had no. You have $20 in your Amazon account from a giveaway. You need to spend it. Yeah, right. I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, no, I don't know. Because it could, like, I don't know if you can natively spend Amazon money on Fiverr, because I have no idea how Fiverr works. And, like, if you can't just spend the money from the Amazon account on Fiverr, then depending on the artist, I don't know, maybe some of them, if, like, you contacted them and were like, hey, I have a $20 Amazon gift card, kind of, like, I have money in my Amazon account that's $20, and I'll like, give it to you, or, like, buy something for you in exchange for this. Some of them might do it. I don't know. I don't know how it works. It would depend on the person. I am sadly uninformed on this. I'm gonna skip the retainers, because I know what Tarek's deal is, and I was going to check what Darcy's deal was, and then did not ask while Day was conscious. So now I have to do it tomorrow, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna do Jung-ho even, that's his actual name. So Jung-ho is, how would I describe him? I need my notes. I'm gonna move them there, so I can now no longer see my actual stream screen. No, so that is very bright. Ow, my eyeballs. Okay, where the hell does he show up? When did I get this boy? When did I get this boy? Sulfur time. Nice hat, dude. Old lady's unimpressed. Disgraced Navy. Traitors no doubt. Talia said... Alright, that was fun. When we were fighting some pirates a couple weeks ago, this pirate waltzed in and was like, oh, you know, people, you know, you betrayed the cause by siding with the Imperials. And the doctor said he had a small dick and he was compensating for something. And he tried to immediately kill her, which was very good. So yeah, it would have been around there. Not really described. I didn't really describe him though. I nearly killed him. I knocked him down to like 1 HP. Not intentionally, I just kind of did it. So I didn't actually mention it in there. I did not describe that well. Some of my notes are very bad. Some of my notes are actually not useful. I do not play by play as much as it would appear if you could see my notes. They are not actually that good. And I only described him as captured boyo, so that's also not very helpful. But at least I do remember that's what we did. So I'm gonna minimize that because it's not actually useful. So, a pirate from the Emerald Festival, Jung-ho, was conscripted into the actually you do it in the italics, the Pendergast service in exchange for giving the party information on the Emerald Festival's whereabouts. Hold on, I need to... Actually, wait, so we might order it in a different way. We'll order it the way that it was in the event, which is that Jung-ho fought the party in Kupang, so that's city of Kupang, so I know what Kupang is. Alongside, and I know what the character's name is. I know it because I wrote it down. And I wrote it down because they put it in chat. Where is he? Where is this dickhead? Where's Rion? Ryong Jong-yul. Jong-yul. I don't know how to pronounce Rio, so I'm assuming it's like Rio. Inside Ryong Jong-yul. I'll keep his name. I'll keep it down. I'm gonna look through my notes and think, what exactly did I want to tell myself when writing down woman with a crossbow in city, and why was it important enough? Right? I think like 90% of my notes are just like reactions to things that happened. Like there's a note here that's just 2 baskets of cucumbers. And I know why I wrote it down, but like, why though? Why was this important? Because we bought 2 baskets of cucumbers and we were using them in the plot for some reason. What else did I write that's silly? We come out in a funkly room. What is a funkly room? I don't remember what was funkly about it. It was just a room. Because that's not even like the room in the locked room. Like the locked room had stuff in it. The funkly room was just like a room. So I'm just like, what was the deal? What's the vibe? What's happening? And then again, a note, nice hat, dude. Whose hat? I don't remember whose hat that is. I don't know who I was talking about, but someone had a nice hat. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the person in Kupang who had a nice hat, but it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I have no idea what was happening there. And then I have a map, smiley face. That was a useful note. Found this randomly in my notes. Greenish armor with clave. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that even means. That's weird. But hey, it's greenish armor with clave. Who knows? Nail nearly knocked him. Nearly killed him. And he played dead for the rest of the fight. Afterwards, he was conscripted into the Pendergast's service, and I'm gonna actually wait, how do I word this? Because I need to describe why that was important. Right between Core Forge and neighborhood with many green stuff. There's a lot going on in there, and I don't understand any of it. And if you don't either, then we're having a problem. Did you mention notes are a mess? I mean, everyone's notes are a mess, because you're making them, like, at the time where you have a moment, an idea, and you're like, quickly, write it down. Which is why my Discord is a mess, and why no one's allowed in there. Because it's just screaming. Somebody is live talking about D&D. Good for them. After nearly being killed by Niall, he was spared in exchange for information about the Emerald Festival's whereabouts. In order to save him from Imperial execution, he was brought aboard the Pendergast as an ex. I can only write so much about this man. He doesn't actually matter. He's here because I think it's funny. Jung-ho is written about because I think it's fun. And you have a lot of, no, remember that, I need to write it down. Oh, we all do, don't we? We're like, yeah, I will definitely remember this important character information. I will not remember these things. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, I have a me notes section, which is all stuff about Niall, where I mentioned that her clothes are her last tie to her homeland, that she got... My favorite note on Niall's section, a bit that doesn't matter anywhere, is that she got knocked out for a week by Dwarf Brandy. But that's like, there's nothing actually useful in here. It is just like meme shit that we said as a joke. Unless somehow the Dwarf Brandy is going to come back. Like if for some reason someone needs to knock Niall out, they're going to spike her wine with Dwarf Brandy. Like what's happening? Why is this important to note down? I don't know. But it's there. It's there. We love it. Some of these notes are like useful though. Some of them. Some of them are not. Like one from our last session on Thursday, because basically what happened is we went through a reef and then we fought a pirate ship. And pretty much the only thing important that we got from that situation is that we now have a pirate boat. A very badly damaged pirate boat, but we have a pirate boat. Because we're gonna sneak in and fight some more pirates. And the only thing here that's, like, relevant is, like, okay, so the captains are where the captains are. Like, the actual captains of the pirates that we're gonna fight. And that's it. That is the only useful information that I've written down, is where the actual captains are. That we're gonna have to go and find. But then I have a bunch of other stuff, like Niall domed the captain. Queen shit. It's missing the clapping emojis, but it would have clapping emojis. Because I killed the captain of the boat that we were fighting. Like, I just hit him in one shot and just killed him dead. It was like, holy shit. And then a guy specifically asked we not burn down his tent. Valid complaint. Like, it's just shit like that. 90% of my notes are just, like, opinions about what's happening. Oops. But it's fun, though. I have fun. I have fun. Which is why no one else reads the text document. Except for when I post screenshots on Twitter. Which I don't do often anyway. Okay, I'm gonna write... I know what Tariq's deal is, so I can actually write him. Because... Yes! Showcase! Yes! We can do a showcase! Excellent. This will work. This also works. This is a good way to good stuff to do in the end. This is the one character article you finished so far if you want to take a look. It's a long one. That's fine. I've been talking about my characters for like a month straight. I'm happy to talk about somebody else's for a change. To a point. If my voice goes out, we'll stop. So, this is Keth Beltoon, an elite warrior from Exandria, trapped in a different world, searching for a way back. And it has small spoilers about the Kryn dynasty in the second campaign of Critical Role. You have been warned. People who care about Critical Role spoilers, you have been warned. I have no idea. So, we're good. This is this Kethrine Beltoon. On that day, I was stationed near the Lucid Bastion, while the Shadow Hand did his magic. I don't know what he was doing, and even if I did, I would not understand it anyway. But apparently it was very important. After a few hours, something went horribly wrong. We got infiltrated by a Volstrucker agent. Volstrucker? How German do I get? Agent. And the experiment failed catastrophically. The only thing I remembered was hearing one of the most bone-shattering sounds of all my life. I later learned it was literally reality ripping apart, and I got pulled in. Next thing I know is waking up at the shore of a different world with no idea how to get back home. That's rough. And Volstruckers are agents of the Dwendalian Empire. Elite assassins. You spelt Volstrucker two different ways. Once with 2 L's and once with 1 L. Keth is an Echo Knight, born in the Kryn dynasty of Wildmount, but an accident changed her whole life. Now she is apparently one of the prophesized heroes of another world, Thylea. Even if she just wants to find a way back home, she might as well try to help while she is here, and who knows, maybe this world is changing her more than she may think. Ah. You spelled Kryn different ways too. Spelling is hard. Description. A fighter her whole life and in every way. Keth trained her whole life, day after day, which gave her a very athletic, muscular but slim build. A bright blue tattoo starting at the back of her right hand flows up her whole arm to her neck, like tongues of smoke or flowing water. She does not rely on strength, but on precision and speed, always one step ahead of her enemies. Her fighting style looks more like an elegant dance, a deadly but elegant dance. Keth is very self-conscious about pretty much everything she does, except for the one thing she knows she's good at, fighting. She would rather be stuck in an endless fight with her worst enemy than stuck in a room full of strangers and forced to do small talk. She is not a woman of words, but actions. Determined, maybe even stubborn from time to time, and impatient, this might make her seem harsh to others, but at her core she cares deeply about her friends and will do everything to protect them. Her trust and friendship is hard to get, but once you have, she will be the most loyal friend you can imagine. Yeah, spelling is always hard. And it never hurts to do another editing pass, though editing is also very boring, so... And because, like, you've read it before, you barely ever notice the actual spelling mistakes. It is what it is. Alright, humble beginnings. Keth was born in the Coronas of Rossona, the poorest district in the capital city of the Kryn dynasty. Growing up in such poor conditions, she swore to herself that she would do better, find a better place for herself. So she started to practice and train, joining the Aurora Watch at only 35 years old, slowly working her way up. After years and years of training, she was transferred to Bazokhan, a town probably better described as a military outpost. Ooh, alright, that's readable. Bazokhan. The entire mountainside was a prominent temple to a number of betrayer gods long ago. The inhabitants had begun to reclaim elements of it, but then uncovered that there were quite a number of remaining doorways, and they only managed to build part of the city before it was assailed. Most of the tunnels that lead to the various entrances have been collapsed and or blocked in order to funnel any creatures coming from under the mountains into one area to make defending the village easier. Alright. Bashan is not a great place to be. It's far away from any civilization, and the only thing going on are the monsters running out of the umbral gates. But Keth sources up an opportunity, proving herself again and again fighting those monsters coming out of the umbral gates. After many more years of duty, fighting, and training every day, she was one of the best warriors stationed at Bazhan, and she got noticed by one of the elite fighters of the dynasty, an Echo Knight. The next decade she trained as an Echo Knight, switching between duty in Bazhan, training in Rasona, and missions near the border of the Empire. During one of those missions, she was badly injured and nearly died. She was brought back to Rasona for recovery, but quickly she wanted to get back into the field, so she started to work as part of the Aurora Watch as soon as she could stand on two legs again. One fateful day, she found herself in the midst of an assassination attempt orchestrated by the Empire, and saved multiple important members of the Den Beltune with her quick action. As a sign of gratitude, and taking her accomplishments in Bazhan into account, Den Beltune took her in and she got consecuted. Consecution is a ritual in the faith of Lukhun. Read more about it in the box below. Okay, cool. In the light of Lukhun at the incredibly young age of only 137. Her duties as an Echo Knight continued after that for a few decades, till she fell in Bazhan, saving many other soldiers in the process. Aha! Fell. Yes. Consecution. The Lukhun Beacon, or Luxon, I'm going to say that's probably Luxon. I'm probably just overthinking the S. It's Luxon, isn't it? The Luxon Beacons are at the center of the Kryn dynasty ritual known as Consecution. When a follower of the Luxon has proven their faith through word or deed, that person is claimed by one of the ruling dens of the... Okay, that's a chugh. Of the Hornus Empire. That individual is then soul-bound to the Luxon through Consecution. When a consecuted creature dies within 100 miles of a beacon, their soul does not move on to the outer planes. Rather, their soul is reborn in a newborn infant within 100 miles of the beacon in question. Around adolescence, the creature carrying the consecuted soul begins to remember their past life. The process of anamnesis can be accelerated with meditation practices perfected by the dynasty. Ooh. A brave new world. But for a consecuted soul, death is not the end. It is just the new beginning. Oh, well, she did actually die. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, she did actually die in Bazhan and then she was reborn. Gotcha. So her second life started once again in the coronas of Rasona. But as soon as she started getting her memories back, she was quickly brought back into Den Beltune and her training as an Echo Knight continued. A few years ago, the conflict between the dynasty and the Empire escalated into a bloody war, which caused her to see many battles and missions close to the border. After one of the battles, she was ordered back to Rasona to help train new recruits, and she reluctantly agreed. In addition to her trainee duties, she was assigned to various high-important watches and bodyguard missions. During one of those guard assignments, something went horribly wrong, and she, along with a few other guards, her best friend, and the Shadow Hand himself, got pulled into another world, Thylea. What could have been days, years, or just minutes later, she found herself washed ashore on a different coast all by herself, a coast she had never seen before, under a completely different night sky. With no clue what happened and no idea on where she was or how to get back home, she headed towards the biggest city nearby, hoping to find anyone, who might be able to help her find the others and a way back. Arriving in Mithras, she soon learned about a powerful group called the Prophesied Heroes, who apparently already had saved the city in the past. So with no one else to turn to, she turned to those heroes, hoping to find help there. Alright. Reading. Let's get the campaign started. Yeah! Because this makes sense, like this is basically where the campaign starts. So as soon as Nissa saw this strange, dark-skinned woman following them, a vision flashed before her eyes. A man with the same dark skin as the woman she just saw is standing over a table. Paper and scrolls filled with strange and alien symbols scattered on it, and a chain binding his ankles, leading into the darkness. And in this darkness, 3 eyes emerged, staring right into her soul. I can read. Staring right into her soul. Barely being able to rip herself away from their gaze, the vision around her changes. Finding herself in a cave with an endless pile of coins, gems, and other treasure extending into the shadows. And in the middle of this, a huge maelstrom is roaring and leading down into the void. And once again the vision changes. She is now back in Mithras, but not the Mithras she knows. The city around her stands ablaze, people screaming and running for their lives. But in all this chaos she sees herself, Artigan, and Leiro, the 3 prophesied heroes, bloodied and exhausted but still fighting. And fighting right next to them is this strange, dark-skinned woman she just saw in the streets of Mithras. As a loud roar is echoing over the city, her attention shifts skywards. Above Mithras, there are 4 dragons circling the city, a sight that hasn't been seen since the Dragon Lords came to this world many, many years ago. Ooh. After that vision, Keth joined the heroes. They are helping her to find a way back home, while she is helping them accomplish their goals. Keth does not believe in prophecies, they just describe one possible future. But the heroes are her best bet at getting back home for the moment. Over time, Keth has realized that it might not be as easy as she had hoped. She has found her best friend Elrin, and she found the Volstrucker agent that caused all of that. But the Shadow Hand, the only person probably able to bring them back home, is held captive by one of the gods of this world. She has started to get frustrated more and more, until that frustration has turned into anger, and she has accepted that she will be stuck here for a while. Even if she will not admit it quite yet, the new world grows in her day by day, the heroes becoming her friends and the prophecy morphing into a destiny, a goal. So when she finally gets the opportunity to return back to Exandria, will it still be her home, or has she found a new home in this different world? Ooh. Oh, we're almost there. To quickly check. Right, special abilities. Hell yeah. Abilities. An Echo Knight, trained to wield the power of choice itself. Ooh, shit. A mysterious and feared frontline warrior of the Kryn dynasty, the Echo Knight has mastered the art of using dunamis to summon the fading shadows of unrealized timelines to aid them in their battle. Surrounded by echoes of their own might, they charge into the fray as a circling swarm of shadows and strikes. Okay, cool. That is actually really cool. Dunamancy is a primal magical energy of potentiality and actuality, an anticipatory arcane force that helps shape the multiverse and might very well be what holds everything together, like an infinite web of unseen tethers. It controls time and space, chance, and possibility. And Keth is able to tap into this power, even if she doesn't fully understand how it works or what it is. She can summon alternate versions of herself from timelines that could have been if she had made different choices. Those alternate versions, those echoes, fight alongside her and are nearly as deadly as Keth herself. Morality. Protect those who protect you. Kill those who would kill you. Keth's morality is pretty simple. You help her, she helps you. You hurt her, she hurts you. At least it was as easy as this. But being around people who consider themselves heroes changed her, and she is slowly starting to care more about strangers around her. But one thing will never change. She protects her friends at all costs, and if necessary, she will even run into certain death for them. If someone hurts her friends, they will have a really bad time. Philosophy. Everybody is the architect of their own path. Her philosophy, on the other hand, is a bit more complicated. As an Echo Knight, she relies on alternate versions of herself in combat. She relies on timelines that could have been. In essence, she relies on possibility and freedom of choice. She thinks that something like destiny can't exist, and everyone forges their own path through their life. We got molded into the personalities we are by the choices we made, not by our heritage or by gods and other powerful beings. Ooh. Faith. The Luxon, the light, the first radiance. The Kryn dynasty believes that the Luxon came to Exandria when it was a cold, dark, empty world, before the other gods existed. Alone it embraced the lifeless place, destroying its own body. Its destruction brought light and life to the world, and gave birth to the elements. Later on, the Kryn dynasty found ancient artifacts, part of the Luxon, and called them beacons. Keth was raised into the faith of the Luxon, but it was never really a big part of her life, at least not until she started her training as an Echo Knight, and even more so after she got consecuted. Keth isn't sure if the Luxon is a real god or something else, but she has a firm opinion on what it stands for. In her mind, the Luxon stands for possibility and freedom of choice. It allows consecuted souls to live multiple lives, learn from their own choices every single time, and grow stronger because of it. It allows mages to alter chance and time around them, and it allows her to access the fleeting energies of timelines that could have been. Whatever the Luxon is, it helps her in battle and ensures that nobody other than herself controls her life. And that is all that counts. Or this is all that counts. That is all that counts. Nice! Oh, and I didn't read the sidebar, but we're here now. We've made, oh, holy shit, wait, what? Whoa! What? That's cool. Oh, the carousels! Oh my god, I forgot about the carousels. Fuck. I literally just remembered that carousels exist. Far out. Damn it, now I know how to fix Tom Joel's character portrait. Alright, age, 297 years, 108 in her current life. She's a drow, female, 5'4", hell yeah. 43 kilos, hell yeah. Orange eyes, blue spark skin, grey with streaks of white. She's from Wasona, and her current residence is the River's Rest, and formerly it was the Mithros. Wait, what? Oh, the Mithros was the ship of Esther Arcalander, until the heroes claimed it and rebranded the River's Rest. Okay, so Mithros is both a city and is a ship. Like, there's the city of Mithros and there is the Mithros, which they then rename because that is complicated and a pain in the butt to keep track of. In character, if not as a reader. Like, wait, wasn't Mithros mentioned before? I know what Mithros is. It's mentioned here. We have two Mithroses, but we renamed it to the River's Rest. Hell yeah, we love to have boats. I love boats. That was a cool article though, because you can get like a lot of sense of stuff. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I understand why the players renamed it. But I do like that character, that she has a lot going on, and it's like, and you also get the sense of like some of the campaign stuff, which I haven't written any of the campaign stuff on Niall's page because I might at some point, but that's gonna make this a very, very long article, so this is gonna continue. But I do like it, and I also really like all like the world building stuff. I don't know how much of it comes from stuff that was already established by Matt Mercer, who made Exandria and all that, because I'm not as familiar, I'm basically not familiar at all with the stuff that actually happens in Critical Role, but it is cool as hell, and I like it. And you have explained pretty much everything in here that I would need to know. Yeah, comes from established lore. Okay. I think the only part that I was like actively confused by is I don't know what the Shadow Hand is. I don't know what the Shadow Hand is supposed to be. Or who that is. I'm assuming that's a whom. It was mentioned at some point. It was explained. But I don't know who the Shadow Hand is. That might be like the one part that, yeah, the first time you mentioned Shadow Hand down here, maybe add a tooltip for him to explain what his role is in the dynasty. I'm assuming he's like, I don't know, the head of Den Beltoon or something. So rank in the dynasty, basically head mage of the dynasty. Okay, yeah. So I think he's the only thing that I could not understand. Because like knowing, like I can figure out basically everything else. except for what he was supposed to be. So that might be like the one thing that I would add, aside from just doing like a general editing pass just to fix some stuff up. Just some minor spelling stuff. Which is why getting it read aloud can help, because I'm also gonna, like, by reading it, I get stuck because I can't read, but sometimes I get stuck because grammar is hard, and that can be helpful, I hope. I hope it was helpful. I enjoyed reading it. I enjoy talking about I enjoy talking about characters. I love world building. World building is good. That's why I spend so much money and time doing it. That's why I've been using World Anvil since, like... Oh god, I've been here for 3 years, haven't I? I've been here for 3 years? Help! I've been here for a while, and I've probably spent, like, $500. But hey! It's all G. It's less than that, but that's still a lot. It's an amount. Because I joined either on or just after Valentine's Day 2018. So I've been here for a while. I can check. Go to profile. When did I join? Yeah, so it says the 13th of February, but I'm Australian. What the f- Hold on a minute. Wait a second. Dimitri? Dimitri? Dimitri, what have you done? Dimitri, what have you done? Dimitri, what are these? Dimitri, what have you done? What are these? Yeah, I am among the venerable. I'm also among the ancient. Ancient meaning that I was on the Patreon before June 2018. Venerable means that I was on the Patreon in general. And then I missed the Eternal because it costs a lot of money. Next time the Eternal sub comes out, I'm probably gonna buy it, assuming that my finances are good. I can't read because my name is over it. Okay, so the base is... Oh, we're finally getting ingots! Yes! Oh, finally. I've been waiting for ingots for years. Oh my god. Because, like, ages ago, and I mean ages, this is some old World Anvil lore. There was a thing on the, like, progress list where we were gonna add ingots. And you would get ingots through your subscription. So if you were a... And what, like, the one thing I remember you were gonna be able to use ingots for was it was gonna be able to be used to create, apprentice world builders. And basically what an apprentice was you could basically gift a journeyman subscription to somebody. That has been phased out. I don't think apprentices exist anymore. There's a couple that still exist, like they're like basically like grandfathered in, but that was a thing. And so now we actually have them, but they're coins. And I'm going to assume that's some TJ handiwork. Because that looks... maybe it's not. I'm just going to assume it's TJ. So you get them by logging in, completing quests, taking part in competitions, and other things. They can redeem, like, voting for features, boosting favorite articles. Oh, shit. Getting profile stickers? Building your realms. Dimitri. I need to know. I can't read development discussion now! Dimitri, I need to know. You can't just reveal this in the middle of a stream, Demetrius. Demetrius! Anyway, 13th of February, like I said. I've been around for a while. This needs to change where it's positioned. This can't sit here. This can't sit where it's sitting. Because I don't know what that word is supposed to be. Is it general? Venerable. Venerable Grandmaster Guild reward. I got +8 coins. Okay. I can't read. Dimmy, I can't read it. I don't know what it means. It has now been moved. Where is it stored? Where are my coins? Where's my chest? Dimmy, where's my chest? Where's my chest with my coins? Ah! It's only the beginning. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to read through, like, basically once my stream ends in a couple of minutes, I'm gonna be going through development discussions and figuring out what the hell it means. I don't know what it means. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, that is... Thank you for the raid, Color Bookshelf, and thank you for all the delightful cat facts. Oh my god! Oh, that is so cool! That is one of the coolest raid messages I think I've ever got. Cats have 230 bones, which is more than humans. Male cats are more likely to be left pawed, but females are more likely to be right. Cats attack your ankles when they're bored. They're supposed to have 18 toes, 5 on each front paw, 4 on each back. Have nearly twice as many neurons as dogs. And then your cat drapes its tail over another cat, your dog, or you as a symbol of friendship. Aww! I love cats! This is delightful! Thank you so much for the raid and all the delightful cat facts! Welcome to the stream! And thank you for the follows! I can't see it because it's not doing it properly. Yeah, so thank you for the follow, Demonic Phoenix 11, and thank you for the host, Anastasia. You've come at an awkward time, because my stream's gonna end shortly, because it is 1 in the morning for me. But we have a couple more minutes, so I can always go a little bit later. I'm not allowed to end it till you get your food. Okay, so we have a couple more minutes at least. But welcome! I haven't seen you around. I'm assuming you're a writer or a world builder yourself, Kala? Oh, and thank you for the follow, Melody Relody. Oh, that's a lovely name. That's a lovely username. Since you haven't been on this stream, I don't think. What we've been doing is basically I've been writing the character backstory for my D&D character and just figuring out some of the situations about her relatives, because I decided to profile pretty much everyone she's ever known, and so they all have little descriptions. I haven't finished all of them. There's still 2 characters who need to be described, but I'm gonna do those off stream because I require my dungeon master to tell me if they're okay. You're a writer? Yes. Nice. I assume so. I'm assuming like what you did was you looked through who was streaming writers and came in. Happy to have you. Yes. D&D and World Anvil. Hell yeah. World Anvil is great, and D&D is also good. I love TTRPGs in general. They're very, very fun. This is my first, like, campaign that I'm actually in. I've done a couple of one-shots every now and again, but they're not as character-driven. But as you can tell, I've fallen in love with my character in this campaign so much that I've given her, like, 1,000 words of backstory. That's a completely fair way to choose raid. That's a good way to choose raids. Like, who's also writing? Writing is good. No, since it's 1 AM for you and you've ordered some pizza, which says open until 3 AM. Nice! That's a good pizza joint. To stay open until 3. They know. People want midnight pizza. Your changeling character might get revealed this week. Nice! That's very exciting. I hope your character is cool and you love them. You would not believe how relieved I am to find someone close to my time zone who's streaming writing. I'm in Sydney. Hell yeah. I'm in Melbourne. So we are in the same time zone. we are in the same time zone. I stream currently, so for the next week, I'm streaming from 11 until 1 on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But after daylight savings ends on Sunday, I'm switching from 11 till 1 and to 10 until 12. Because I'm trying to fit my stream slot around a couple of friends who stream at the same time as me, or similar time. For instance, in a few moments, we will be raiding Uppity Dinosaur Bob, who will be doing world building stuff, and he streams at, I don't know what time zone he is, but he streams, like, he started streaming like 4 minutes ago, and when time zones hit, I would be overlapping him if I didn't change time slots, so I'll be going 10 until 12 on those 3 days, and I do world building on Tuesdays, like world building and writing on Tuesdays. Generally I do art on Saturdays, not always, because I like to draw. And then on Sundays, I party and play video games, like Fallout and Crusader Kings. Yeah, Bob's USA East Coast. I don't know what time zones are, though. You can't get food until after, like, 9 PM here. Aww. Boo. It's 8 AM here. Nice! I'm assuming you are also, like, US East Coast. Because that sounds like a US East Coast thing. Yes, I had to quickly correct which East-West was. It's 1 a.m. I can only hold so much. Decided during your character as a chibi girl because she's so cute and I love her. Hell yeah. Oh, the pizza opens at 8 and says open till 3. Nice. Oh, the East Coast is 10 a.m. Okay, so there's the East Coast, and then there is the East Coast generally. Okay, U.S. East. General East area. I'm not American. I don't know how you have like 7 time zones in your country, okay? I only know so much. I just know that it's around US, like, East Coast. Like, it would be Mountain Time, maybe? I think it's actually Mountain Time, right? MST is 8 a.m.? I don't remember. Time zones are hard and confusing. Exactly. Luckily for everyone who is in the Northern Hemisphere, when my time zone changes and my time slot changes on Sunday, I'm still streaming at the same time for you all because of how I changed the spot. Because of the time zone thing, I'm streaming at the same time. It's great. Ah, jeez. So it's gonna be fun, and I'll do more writing stuff. Probably on Saturday, which is my next stream, I'll probably be doing art of a character. I'm not sure who. It'll either be art of one of my sub-characters in the campaign, or it will be art of the shenanigans that occur during our session on Thursday, because we're having our next D&D session on Thursday, and we're going to go fight some pirates. And I can't talk about the pirate bosses in detail because they have a twist to them, and I don't know if any of my fellow party members are in the stream, and only me and the DM know what the twist is, so I can't describe them the way that I want to. It's devastating. Because it's they're fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun fighting them with my warlock going pew pew. From west to east, Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern. Got it. Yeah. So I think it's Mountain then, right? 8 a.m. is Mountain? Something like that. A friend of mine has scheduled a D&D session between one from America, Europa, and Australia each. And all of them are swapping to or from daylight savings over the course of 4 weeks, which makes everything confusing as hell. Yep. At least by the end of it, so once the Australian member swaps from daylight savings, your time zones are all closer. Which is the one thing that I always remember, because I know like World Anvil streams at like 7 p.m. GMT or something, which during daylight savings is at 6 a.m. and during not daylight savings it's 4 a.m. It's very nice. Time zones are hard. Okay, but I did at least get MST right, so I am remembering something. I am slowly learning time zones. I only know MST is 8 a.m. because of Greg. Anyway, so unfortunately, yeah, until it stops even further apart. Yeah, it just makes it chaotic. But anyway, because it is 1 in the morning and that is the end of my stream, we are gonna have to head off to a raid so that I can consume a fruit bar and then pass out. As is what I usually do on most days. Quickly, I need to remember to actually say thank you for the follow to Ghostbite and Mia Wrights. I didn't say it before, but sorry. Thank you all very much for following. Hopefully I will see you around in the future. But we will head off for a raid. Before we do, I will remind everyone that our raid call is Get Ready, and that if you have I think it's 100 channel points or so, 200 channel points, you can claim the Burning Bread emote, which is our raid emote, and is my favorite emote that I drew. I am very, very fond of it. And we will be raiding RPG Dinosaur Bob, who is here just before you all arrived. He is streaming world buildings. So he's streaming working on CSS for his world, but he's also preparing for Camp Nano, which I'm sure the writers in chat will be very delighted to hear. So there will be a lot of discussion about Camp Nano, I'm sure. So hopefully you will all have a delightful time with Bob. Thank you all very much for coming. Hopefully you all had a nice time, however long you were here for. Hopefully I will see many of you around in the future, and hopefully you will have a lovely day. Exactly. Thanks for the stream. Have a good night. I'll hopefully see you all around. Bye! Bye all! Hey!